I'm a freshman in college, and this happened just
everyone,
last
look here.
Halloween,
Smile.
during my first semester. My parents dropped me off at school that day. We bid our farewell. To be honest, I'm going to miss my parents. I was new on campus and eager to make friends, so when a girl I chatted with in class, let's call her Monica, invited me to a Halloween party off campus, I jumped at the chance. 3 of us, my roommate, her boyfriend, and I, got dressed up and drove to the address Monica gave. The place turned out to be way out on the edge of town, down a dark, empty road with barely any streetlights. Something about it already felt off. We arrived at what looked like an old, run-down house. No spooky decorations, no music thumping. Definitely not the lively party scene we expected. I felt unwell. Immediately, I knocked and opened the door. Monica met me there, smiling, warm,
Hi,
too
you're welcome.
warm. She welcomed me and asked me to come in. I smiled back, but deep down I felt uneasy. Inside, instead of a fun college party, we found a mostly empty living room. Some strange folks whispered in the corners. My roommate muttered, "Something's off." Then we saw it, cached, little bags of pills on a table, and a few hard men watching us. A man stepped out, told us to relax, but then... My heart hammered. We have been lured into some drug house or whorehouse. I forced a shaky smile.
Actually, I think we have the wrong address. We were supposed to meet other friends, sorry.
Then edged back to the door. The man at the door walked to us like he wouldn't let us go. An older woman sensed a scene.
Let him out, don't need trouble.
To my relief, they allowed us to go. We hurried out into the night, adrenaline surging, and we didn't stop until we were far from the house. Only later did it hit me how dangerous that was. We'd walked into what looked like a crack house / prostitution ring disguised as a Halloween party. I don't know what would have happened if we'd stayed. Thank God we didn't. If a party feels off, trust your gut. Now I stick to campus events. No more random invites. Back in 2016, during the weird killer clown craze, I had my own run-in with one of those clowns. I was 17 and walking home from a friend's Halloween party with another buddy. It was pretty late, streets were empty, and we had these cheap toy lightsabers as part of our costumes. We'd gone as Jedi. We were laughing and whacking at weeds with the plastic sabers on our way when I got the distinct feeling we were being followed. My friend noticed, too. About half a block behind us, a tall figure in a clown outfit was trailing, just far enough to stay out of the street light. We joked nervously, "Ha ha ha, looks like one of those creepy clowns." But after a few minutes, the clown was still behind us, sometimes ducking out of sight and reappearing. It was unsettling. We sped up. So did the clown. That's when we knew this wasn't just someone randomly walking. He was stalking us. My heart started pounding. We whispered a plan to each other and quietly slid our lightsabers out from our belts. As we neared a corner by my street, the clown suddenly picked up pace and got close, maybe 15 feet behind. I heard him emit this low, menacing laugh. That was it. If he wanted a scare, we'd give him one. We turned around abruptly, and the clown lunged toward us, holding something that looked like a stick or knife. Honestly, I couldn't tell which, in the dark. Big mistake on his part. All those years of pretend lightsaber duels paid off. We reacted in sync. We whacked the clown hard, one lightsaber hitting his arm and the other jabbing his stomach. He groaned and fell to the ground, clearly not expecting a counterattack. The guy was actually not much older than us, maybe early 20s, and he started cursing in pain. We didn't let up. We yanked off his rubber clown mask. Underneath was a sweaty, red-faced man who definitely did not look so intimidating anymore. While he was scrambling to get up, my friend was already dialing 911. The would-be scary clown started pleading, "It was a prank." "It's just a joke, man." We kept him in sight and maybe gave him a few more pokes for good measure, until a couple of neighbors, alerted by the commotion, came out to see what was happening. When the police arrived, we handed over the clown, who was now a very sorry, limping individual, and gave statements. We later learned he'd been reported by others for stalking people in the area in that costume. In the end, our Halloween stalker got busted, and we got a hell of a story to tell. It's not often you can say you literally fought off a killer clown with toy lightsabers. As one commenter joked later, "Grandpa, what did you do as a kid?" Well, we beat the crap out of killer clowns with lightsabers. And it's true. The clown had stalked us for a good 30 minutes, and we were having none of it. I'm just glad we handled it and stayed safe. The whole clown craze died down soon after. Maybe word got around that some clowns were getting exactly what they deserved. Every year, parents warn their kids to check their Halloween candy. Most of us roll our eyes. We all heard it's an urban myth that strangers put razors or poison in treats. I certainly thought it was nonsense until 2 years ago. That Halloween, I took my little sister, 8 years old at the time, trick-or-treating around a nice suburban neighborhood. People were generous. She got a haul of chocolates and candies. Back home, we did the usual inspection, mostly looking for open wrappers. Everything seemed fine. She started digging into her sweets with glee. About an hour later, I heard a sudden shriek from the living room. I rushed in to find my sister crying, blood coming from her mouth. My mom was already there, panicking. I saw on the floor a half-chewed mini candy bar, and next to it, a small, sharp razor blade, the kind from a pencil sharpener, smeared with blood. I couldn't believe my eyes. My sister was spitting out blood and bits of chocolate. We carefully pulled her lip back and saw a nasty cut on the inside of her cheek. She was lucky it wasn't worse. Another fraction of an inch, and it could have lodged in her throat or tongue. We took her to the ER for stitches. While there, a police officer came to take a report and collect the tainted candy. They asked for the candy bag and where we'd gone that night. We retraced our steps as best as memory allowed. It was horrifying to realize that this really happened. Someone hid a razor blade in a child's Halloween candy. Over the next few days, police actually found a few more instances of razor blades in candy from families in the same area. It was all over the local news, and parents in town went into a frenzy. The neighborhood we visited was scoured by authorities. They narrowed it down to a particular street where all the kids who got the razor blade candy had been. However, I never heard if they caught the person responsible. The investigation went on, but no arrest was announced to my knowledge. My sister healed up, but her belief in the goodness of Halloween was kind of shattered. The next year, she didn't even want to go trick-or-treating, preferring a controlled trunk-or-treat event instead. I can't blame her. It shook me up, too. To this day, I meticulously inspect every piece of candy for my sister, and even for myself if I snag a Reese's. I tell everyone, the tempered candy myth isn't entirely a myth. It only takes one sick individual to make it true. We were the family that found the razor in the apple, so to speak. And you better believe we now check every treat twice before anyone eats it. Halloween is still my favorite holiday. But it's also the one night when I learned that real evil can hide behind the mask of a kindly neighbor with a candy bowl. 1974, Halloween night in a suburb of Houston, Texas. This is a story from before I was born, but it's so real and chilling that it's been passed down as a local legend, and my parents told it to me as a warning. An 8-year-old boy named Timothy went out trick-or-treating with his father and some friends. Despite a rainy evening, they had fun and collected lots of candy. Later that night, Timothy asked his dad if he could have some of his candy. In particular, he wanted a pixie sticks, one of those long straws filled with powdered sugar. His father reached into Tim's candy pile and handed him one of the pixie sticks tubes. The boy ate some of the sweet powder. Minutes later, he began convulsing. He collapsed, foam coming out of his mouth. An ambulance was called, but tragically, little Timothy died en route to the hospital. The cause? The pixie sticks powder had been laced with lethal cyanide poison. The entire community went into hysterics. A monster had apparently given out poisoned candy to an innocent child on Halloween. Parents threw out candy, and the police rushed to find the source. As they dug deeper, a horrifying truth emerged. The poisoner was none other than Timothy's own father. In a twisted, cold-blooded scheme, he had laced that candy with cyanide to kill his son for insurance money. He even gave poisoned pixie sticks to his daughter and 3 other neighborhood kids to make it look like some random maniac's doing. But, thankfully, none of those were consumed in time. The community was beyond devastated. A child was dead, and the killer turned out to be his own dad, the very person who was supposed to keep him safe on Halloween. I can't imagine the betrayal and horror the family felt. This true story made national news and is the reason many of our parents became paranoid about Halloween candy. Growing up, my mom always recounted the Candyman tale to terrify us into only eating candy she had checked first. As an adult, I researched it more and found it absolutely bone-chilling that a parent could do that. Whenever I see pixie sticks, I think of poor Timothy. His father was caught, convicted, and later executed for the murder. A rare case of an actual Halloween poisoning. This story isn't just a cautionary legend. It really happened, proving that sometimes the real monsters wear the face of a loved one. Every Halloween, I double-check any candy my little cousins get, not because I expect some random fiend in the neighborhood, but because of this case. The only known incident of a stranger poisoning Halloween candy turned out not to be a stranger at all, but a parent's unforgivable betrayal. It's a sobering reminder that real horror can come from where you least expect it. Every family has its ghost stories, or so I thought, until it happened to us. About 13 years ago, I was 14 and home with my 2 younger siblings on Halloween night. Our parents had gone to a costume party for adults, leaving us to hand out candy and then watch some movies. The evening was fun at first. We traded candy, watched Goosebumps reruns, and tried to scare each other with made-up, spooky tales. By 11 p.m., the neighborhood was quieting down, and we were getting ready for bed. That's when the banging started. It came from the attic above our garage, a rapid series of thuds, as if someone was stomping or throwing something heavy. We all froze. "Probably raccoons," I whispered, though I wasn't convinced. My 10-year-old brother's eyes were huge. Then came a loud crash, like a metal object clanging to the floor. We gathered at the bottom of the attic stairs, armed with nothing but a flashlight and a broom. I mustered some bravado and shouted, "Hello? Who's there?" Silence. I decided to brave a peek, so I slowly creaked open the attic door and shone the flashlight around. The dusty space was empty, just old boxes and hanging cobwebs, no sign of animals or intruders. I exhaled, thinking it was over. And that's when all the lights in the house went out. We screamed. The only light was my flashlight beam dancing wildly. Then from somewhere in the dark house, we heard a door slam on its own. At this point, my little sister was crying. I herded them both into the kitchen, which somehow felt safer than the open living room, and grabbed a knife, hands shaking. The power outage had to be a blown fuse. I tried to reason, and maybe the draft had shut a door. But deep down, I felt an icy fear that something unseen was with us. As the eldest, I put on a brave face. We decided to stick together and check the breaker in the basement. The three of us moved as one unit, my brother clutching my arm. Descending the dark basement stairs was pure terror. Each step creaked and the air felt heavy. I found the breaker box and flipped the main switch. The lights flickered back on throughout the house. We exhaled in relief until we turned to go back upstairs. Across the basement floor, fresh muddy footprints led from the base of the stairs to the corner of the room, and then simply stopped. The footprints were the size of a large adult's bare feet, and they were smudged and disappearing as if whatever made them was no longer wet. There was no person, no animal, nothing in that corner, just a locked small window, too small for a person, and silence. I have no explanation for what happened that night. We didn't sleep until our parents came home. When we told them, they laughed it off as our overactive Halloween imaginations. But the three of us know it was real. The bangs, the blackout, the slamming door, those eerie footprints. It was as if some poltergeist decided to play a prank on a trio of Home Alone kids. To this day, we remember that unexplainable Halloween night and wonder if the spirit of Halloween itself paid us a visit. If you enjoyed these scary encounters, drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your take. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and ring the bell so you never miss an upload. And if you've got a personal scary story you want me to narrate, email it to darklystorieschannel@gmail.com and include title, location, year, and whether you want to remain anonymous. Your experience might be featured in a future episode. Thank you so much for watching.